Hello, everybody, and thanks for stopping by the Clown Cafe. We're your hosts, Hannah and Hannah, bringing you episode 2, which is going to be about Fear Street Prom Queen.
Mm-mm-mm.
Movie of the year, am I right?
Oh, yeah. Sure love it. Sorry,
Uh,
director Matt Palmer, but
Not our favorite movie.
no.
Can't say we were particularly impressed by this one. Actually, I think that both of our ratings went down a little bit on our rewatch.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad. At first, I rated it like 3.5 stars, and I was like, yeah, no, that's being far too generous. So then I bumped it down to 3, and then I rewatched it, and it's a 2.
I think I bumped mine down to 3 stars, maybe 2.5. I can't remember.
Poor movie. But you
Yeah.
know what? I did like the opening title card. It was so good.
Yes.
I'll give
Yes.
them that.
There were some very good aspects of the film. I can't lie to you. I didn't hate everything about it, but I disliked a lot more than I liked.
Yeah, the cons definitely outweighed the good in this one, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, if you haven't seen Fear Street Prom Queen yet, you should probably not watch this episode
Yeah, there will be
because there
spoilers,
will be
okay?
spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry. Our episodes will always have spoilers because,
Yes. This is not a spoiler free show. We are going to be talking about our favorite parts of the movies, all the pros and cons, dissecting everything, just yapping, rambling, etc., etc. So, if you don't want spoilers, then you should probably stop listening now.
turn it off.
Yes.
But if you've
Uh,
watched, listen to us ramble. See
yeah,
if you agree.
we want to know your thoughts as well. So,
Yes,
feel
feedback
free
is
to
amazing.
feel free to give us your feedback on Twitter or on our Patreon,
Or
perhaps.
Discord.
Perhaps in our Discord server if you subscribe to our Patreon. Just a little self promo there.
Gotta throw that in there, you know. All right, well, let's get
Let's,
into it. All right.
yeah. Let's see. Where do we start out?
And we're gonna be looking at
Immediately.
our notes too, by the way. So don't y'all be judging us
Yeah.
because
Don't judge us for referencing our notes. We're not, like we said in the last episode, this is not a scripted show. This is 100% real. Me and Hannah just chatting,
all
honestly.
vibes, y'all, all vibes.
It'll feel like you're on FaceTime with us or on a phone call.
Oh my god, yeah, that's true.
So if we reference our notes, if you see us look down or if we kind of pause, give us a break. We're new to this.
We'll get
This
better,
is,
but
yeah,
also we like being raw and real. So
exactly. So let's see. We started out right off the bat. We were introduced to all of the key players in this movie, all of the main characters. So most of those being the prom queens, or prom queen candidates, my bad. And those characters were Christy,
my girl.
a wasted character, if you ask me.
We'll get
But
into that. I got thoughts.
I guess they were trying to pull the whole Drew Barrymore opening kill scream kind of thing. I don't know.
They wasted
But
such a good opportunity for a chase there. Like
yes.
Miss Girl was just standing there so oblivious. Like, oh no, I hear someone.
Yep.
Like, come on. Really?
So we've got Christy. She's one of our candidates. Then we have the Wolf Pack, which is comprised of Linda, Debbie, Melissa, and of course the leader of the Wolf Pack, Tiffany.
Ain't nobody likes thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah,
She was a rude ass girl, man.
I was not fond of Tiffany in any way, shape, or form. Then we have the main character. My dog just tried to open the door. Then we have our main character, Lori, who I don't really have a lot to say about her. She was not the most interesting Final girl.
They really did not give her any character depth. Like,
No.
she was as stale as a saltine cracker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean, but
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like all of the characters were severely underdeveloped. I think that
yeah.
was one of the biggest downfalls of this movie.
Which is crazy because in the book, it goes into so much more detail, and all the characters are actually likable except Tiffany.
See, I'm a flop. I have
But
not read the book, so I can't refer to the book.
the movie is disappointing compared to the book. But we're talking about the movie, so let's talk
Yeah.
about that instead.
Yeah. We also are introduced to Laurie's best friend, Megan,
I
who
like
I believe was both of our favorite character.
Yep. Horror lover. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
The
the
introduction
horror
to her
nerd.
was amazing.
Always the best character. Her introduction in the classroom at the beginning, where she pulls out the fake knife and chops her hand off, quote unquote. Um, Cinema.
Everyone's like, oh my god. And she's just like, just kidding. And I love
Honestly,
her. How can you not love her?
I was all for it. I was like, okay, we're getting right into it, and
hmm
it was just a gag, but I still loved it anyway.
That honestly, the gag made it even better because
It did.
it was
I was
like
like,
a stick it to the snuck up fucking prom
snobby
queen
girls. Yeah,
Wolfpack girls. I liked it.
yeah. I loved Megan a lot. I thought she was a great character. Definitely think she was more interesting than our main character.
Oh,
Hate to say it.
by far, unfortunately. I even liked Chrissy better than
And
Lori.
Korea.
She was in there
And
for a total of
2 seconds.
5 minutes, if even. Oh Lord.
Let's dive into some of our pros and cons about the film, because the cons, they far outweigh the pros. I'm sorry to say it, but
Unfortunately.
I don't want this to be an episode of us just completely shitting on a movie, but
It's probably going to be that way.
it's probably going to be us just dogging on this movie for a lot of things. So, let's go into the pros first, shall we? Let's start on a high note, and then we'll get into the not so positive stuff.
All right.
So, let's see. What did I put on my pro list? I said that it was campy and fun. It was a very campy movie. The acting was terrible, but it was like, I think it was intentionally bad. So,
That was my thoughts too. I'm like, did they intentionally just try to make it like a cheesy little flick, like, or were they really trying? Because
I feel like it was intentional, so we'll say,
we'll say
it was campy and it was fun. I did enjoy the camp aspect of it. There was
I liked.
very
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
didn't mean to just
I got excited.
the gore.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, the gore. The gore was good.
Yeah, the
Lots of
practical
blood.
effects. The practical effects were really good. I enjoyed like the scene at the closer to the end when the killer like actually walks into the prom and
Oh gosh, that was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that was a cool scene.
yeah, and cuts the girl's leg off and then the guy's head. I was like,
Oh shit,
the
okay.
the practical effects for that were really good. I thoroughly enjoyed them. Honestly, all of the kills I enjoyed.
I will give them credit. The kills were pretty creative. Like, I mean, I liked the one where I don't even remember his name, but he gets his hand chopped off by the paper cutter.
Oh
Both
yeah.
of them actually, and then he tries to open the door all silly. Oh my god! And then he just gets axed to the freaking head. Like, bro, what did you expect to happen?
Yeah, I liked the 80s horror references since obviously Megan is a horror nerd and the movie takes place in the 80s. So there were a few references to 80s horror in there that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, they mentioned the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go.
Yeah. Peak. Literally peak. We're going to have to do an episode on that at some point because that's one of my favorite vampire movies ever.
I'm so down. We should have like a whole month of just vampire.
Yes.
That would be
because we definitely have other vampire movies that we really want to talk about, like some recent releases. Perhaps Sinners.
And Abigail.
Oh, yes,
I
one of my
love
top
Abigail.
4 of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely adore Abigail. Okay, let's not get off on too much of
We're
a
like
tangent.
talking
We're
about the
like,
movies we do
I know.
like.
I know.
No, I did want to say I forgot to mention that Vice Principal Breckinridge, the actor Lily Taylor. Oh, I like her. I like her. She's in The Conjuring, and she's the mom in The Conjuring too. And I was just like, oh my god, because that's like one of my favorite franchises.
While we're on the topic of her character, though, let me read you one of the notes that I wrote. One of my just random thoughts, because I did write down random thoughts that I had while I was watching the film. One of those being Principal Lady Nosy as fuck. Point blank, period. That's all I had to say. Every time she came on screen, she just always had to insert herself into everything.
She
Always
did.
had something to say.
She's like,
Like,
what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, can you get out
Lori's
of my
dance
face, girl?
battle. After the end of the dance battle between Tiffany and Lori, which I have more to say about that dance battle in just a
Cringy.
second, but when she approaches Lori after that and she's like, like, I thought you were better than this, or whatever she says to her. I don't even remember exactly what she said, but it was just something like, girl, she was just dancing. Like, what are we talking about? Acting like she had the
What do
devil in
you
her
mean
because
you're
she had
better
a
than
little. She was acting like Lori had the devil in her or something.
Oh my god! Or when the Wolfpack did their little what? I don't fucking even know what that dance scene was when they were wearing like the American flag
Oh my god.
swimsuit. But she was
That
so pornographic. Like,
yeah.
girl, it's the fucking 80s. What do you
Yes.
mean? Oh, she was no good
Speaking of Stars and Stripes, now we can I think that's really all we had for our pros. So that's a great segue into the cons, because that was one thing that definitely made its way onto my con list. Um, I said that it wanted to be Mean Girls so bad,
It did.
which is accurate. I feel like so many things about the movie were definitely,
Wannabe Mean Girl vibes.
even even when they show up to prom, Megan looks like Janicean from Mean Girls. Like, they have her hair slicked back.
Yep.
She's wearing, I don't
That
know,
little like suit and tie type vibes. You're so right. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
that, and then they pull a dance number out of nowhere. They're
Yeah.
in
Two
in
different dance
matching
numbers.
matching American flag leotards with the little dance number. It was definitely giving Mean Girls in the worst way possible.
The worst way possible. Because it was incredibly cringy. And
It
everyone in
was.
the crowd was like, oh my god, you guys are doing so good. You guys are so hot. Which they did look good, but I was like, you guys' dancing and routine is very cringy. But you're
It
hot.
was. Yeah, it was very cringy. The '80s aesthetic,
Missing
man,
completely. Completely
it
gone.
wasn't there. It wasn't there at all for a movie that was supposed to be set in the '80s. It
They
wasn't
completely
giving.
missed the mark.
It wasn't giving '80s. The
The
costume
dip.
department, they failed terribly.
Horribly.
The hair and makeup, the outfits, everything, none of it really felt '80s to me.
Nothing.
The
Honestly, it felt more like 90s, if
yeah,
I'm being honest.
yeah,
Like whoever just did all the costume and the prom decorations and stuff, their head was in the 90s because there was absolutely no 80s inspiration in that shit.
no, not at all. I
And
was
then the
like,
generic soundtrack, like most basic possible 80s songs that you can choose. I
yes,
mean,
the
I get it,
soundtrack
but
completely. I felt like the soundtrack completely missed the mark. It could have been a lot better. It was. It was
but I
just
mean,
very generic. Everything was just very generic and bland to me.
not that I wasn't like, vibing to all the songs. Every time the songs came out, I was dancing and singing, but still, they could
They
have done
could have put
better.
a little more effort in,
Yeah, instead
for
of just
sure.
probably Googling popular 80s songs and
Yeah,
choosing
like
the first four.
whatever was in the top 100
Yeah,
at the time
pretty
during
much.
the 80s. That's what they were playing in the
Yeah.
movie. That was the soundtrack,
It's like,
which
okay.
I did not really enjoy.
What else? Megan's room had a bunch of like 80s decor and posters of,
Hmm.
popular people from the 80s, actors and stuff. So her room was really well done, I will say, but like that was it. That was it. They tried really hard for Megan's room and then they were like, all right,
Everything
fuck
was
it.
just so lazy. The hair,
Everything.
like the hair was not 80s
Yeah.
at all.
Not
Nothing.
real hair. No.
No
Where was the
volume.
volume? Where was like the,
There
you
was,
know? 80s hair had curls,
yes,
volume, poof,
everything was
teased,
teased,
hella
crimped. There was no
hairspray.
crimping. I never saw any crimped
Oh,
hair.
crimping. God, I miss crimp hair. I'm
There
not
was no
gonna lie.
hairspray involved
I used to love that
in
shit.
any of their hairstyles.
And then the makeup was
Oh
way
no,
off too.
way
I
off. There
mean,
was no blue eyeshadow.
no, yeah, where was the vibrant eyeshadow? Because that was popular. She put on some wing eyeliner, which I'm not even sure if that was a
I
thing
think
back then.
I think that the aesthetic aspect disappointed me so bad, especially when Lisa Frankenstein just came out last year, and
So
Lisa
beautiful.
Frankenstein
Like that is.
fully took on the 80s aesthetic. Everything was
Mhm.
just so perfectly done. So for another movie that was set in the 80s to come out and
To just.
completely miss the mark, I don't know. I think that's something that made it even more disappointing for me.
I agree. And one thing too, them trying to like throw off who the killer was a fucking fail because I'm sorry, ain't nobody thought it was Mr. Janitor, okay? They tried so hard to make it seem like he
Him
was the killer.
and Tyler, they tried to make him seem
Yeah, which
suspicious, and
no. I did not think
it
Tyler was the
was
killer.
too.
It was
They were
pretty
trying
blatant.
too hard to do the boyfriend's always the killer, try to make it seem like that.
Yeah, like you're not
Mm-mm.
Scream. Sorry. That was a fail. They did two failed attempts at trying to give
Yeah.
away who the killer was, which I feel like even though yes, like I said, I've read the book, so I already knew who it was originally going to be. It still did not give any
Yeah.
misdirection as to who it was because you pretty much right off the bat were like, all right, well Tiffany's parents are fucking crazy,
All right.
so it's probably
Yes,
gonna
and
be them.
as somebody who had never read the books, I did put in my con list that it was a very lame and predictable killer reveal. And it was. It was very
It was.
obvious.
I was like, oh, okay. Figures. I mean, who else would it really be? They wanted their freaking daughter to succeed more than anything in life. That's all they gave a shit about. And not even that, it was like
And they
selfish
just, you
reasons.
could tell
Just the mom.
from their first appearance on screen that there was something wrong with them people. That they were crazy
Oh,
as
yeah.
hell.
The mom had that
She
look in
did.
her eye like,
Also,
you better watch out, I'm gonna stab you.
also the killer design was so boring. It was so lazy.
Horrible.
I
Like, what kind of shit ass mask and fucking red coat is that? Like, we could have done so
boring
much better.
mask with a red raincoat and an axe. I don't know. I was not. Especially if
No.
you compare this movie to the rest of the other Fear Street trilogy,
The
everything
costumes and
was.
everything that went into them was
Yes,
amazing. They did not give two
I
shits
know.
about this movie. Like even the random side characters that were in like the first or second Fear Street trail. I'm not gonna say that word.
The
The
trilogy.
first and second. I struggle with that word. The first and second, like the costumes were incredible, and they can give two shits about the actual killer in Prom Queen. It's like, all right, well,
Yeah, the killer design was
no.
horrible. The which one? Oh, in Fear Street, is it 78? I can't remember specifically what.
You asking the wrong person. I just
I
know
don't
that
remember the
they're
exact years that the
143.
movies are.
I don't
So we'll
either.
just say
I
I
can
know
look.
Fear Street 94, and then I think it was 78, and then 1666, whatever. I don't know. All the costumes there were great. I thought that the killer designs were good in those movies. I thought that they really played into the aesthetic for that era. So for this one to just completely drop the ball on all of those things made it even more disappointing when we obviously know what they're capable of.
Yeah,
Giving.
exactly. Like, you've already seen 3 really
I have
fucking
to
great
close this door.
movies. You had very high expectations going into this.
We'll just
We're gonna edit this out.
yeah,
I'm gonna drink some water.
just edit a couple clips out. Let's see. Yeah. So one of my main cons that I've already mentioned was that the characters were far too underdeveloped, especially Lori. I just didn't care.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna have the main
I just
girl, you gotta make us
yeah,
care about her. Like,
I love Final Girls.
I do too. Favorite genre.
I love
Like,
Final
hello.
Girls. So
What?
when you have a super underdeveloped Final Girl that I just don't really care anything about, it makes me not really care about the movie. Period. Like
Yep.
that alone, even I could put the lack of the 80s aesthetic aside if they had made Laurie's character
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit more interesting and developed her a little
Mm-hmm.
more. And if they had given us a good final girl, I feel like I could have looked past a lot of the cons that were present. Just my
I agree.
personal opinion, because, me and Hannah are both 5-star. We hand out
Oh,
5
yeah.
stars like candy.
Like, we're Oprah, man. We're like, you
Yes.
get a 5 star.
So for
You get
us,
a 5 star.
for
Like,
us to
that's
rate a
us.
movie like 2.5, 3 stars, it's got to be not.
You
It's
know
got
that
to be
thing is
really
shit.
bad. Like,
Yeah. And I always watch movies, and if I'm like bored as shit watching them, I'm always like, all right, well, let me look past the failed storyline and look at everything else, like the cinematography, the special
find something to
effects,
love about it. But there really just wasn't
find
anything
something
that I
to
could
love.
find to love about this
But
movie. That
no, literally, like we said, the only thing I loved was the practical effects and the gore. That's the only. Oh, and the kills were a little bit creative.
But that's about it. Everything else really just missed the mark.
And I don't know, man. There should have like at least been like one lesbian couple in there or a gay couple. Like, they should have thrown that in there. I'm just saying. I mean, considering what 1, 2, and 3 fucking
Very
Fear Street.
sapphic. Yeah.
It's all
very
about
sapphic.
lesbians. Hello. Missed that. They missed the mark
I
on
agree.
that. I was sad. I was like, all right, I guess. They don't have
Yeah,
to,
all
but
of the other 3 feels. Oh my god, I can't talk. The other 3 Fear Street movies are definitely very sapphic. So for them to not include that at all in this one, a little lame if you ask me, because let's go lesbians.
right? Hello. I
What
agree.
else? What else did I have to say? The
Oh, I will.
the dance
Go ahead.
off.
Go ahead.
It just
Your face.
if you're only listening to this right now and you can't see my facial expressions, I'm 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 not smiling.
I am. I'm laughing.
Just roll my eyes as aggressively as possible because that was the cringiest.
You're talking about the one between
Yes,
Tiffany
at
and
the
Lori,
prom.
right? Oh. Why was she like? Why was Tiffany like throwing up her
Dude,
hands?
literally,
Like,
what does it say? What does my
was
note say? Because we talked about this yesterday.
I started
On
laughing
my
'cause I know
con
what you're
list, I will read you word for word what I wrote down while I was watching the movie because it just says dance off question mark question mark question mark, and then under it I put I'm cringing so bad it isn't funny. No, really, why is Tiffany flailing like that? Because she was just like
lately.
literally throwing her arms all over the place.
She was. Like, what was she? I don't even
The
want to reenact it. I
definition
don't want to look
of
stupid.
the
So funny.
definition of terrible white people dancing. No rhythm. I don't know what was going on there. It was awful. It was a hard watch, okay? Secondhand embarrassment was strong.
No, seriously, I was literally like, "Oh my god, can this please stop?" Because they're giving me so much embarrassment.
I wanted to fast forward.
And Lori's just like vibing, feeling herself, but nah, Tiffany was like
throwing her body all over the place. I was like, "Girl, what are you doing?"
And then her mom did pants to her mom in the crowd. Her mom's like,
"Girl, you're embarrassing me.
Who taught you how to dance?
Girl, you're embarrassing me."
I know.
Yes.
To get it together. Hello.
What other cons did
so funny.
Did you have any other cons that you could think of specifically?
Yeah, it took everybody way too long to find out that the wolf pack was missing. Like, aren't they the most important part of the school?
Right.
Everybody.
You'd think that the most popular people in school, if they all disappeared,
started missing on one night, people would be like, "Oh, okay, this is a little sus." But why did it take them more than half the movie to fucking figure it out?
Very unrealistic. And it was Megan of all people that is like, the wolf pack's missing.
Of course it's the horror lover.
Something's
She's like,
not adding up here.
This shit's suspicious.
She says,
yeah. She's the only smart one.
She says something is not adding up here.
But Loki, she heard screams. She heard like multiple different things.
Yeah, the power flickering whenever.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about
which character was that?
Part where she got electrocuted. I want to say that was Debbie.
Her and her man went down to the basement, and their spot down in the basement. Because that's right. Because Megan pointed it out, and Tyler was like, "Oh, they're probably just in the basement screwing." They were in the basement,
and they were in the basement. Just not tried. He gave her mom's earrings. Like, bro, you can't. I get you're in high school, but you can't even get.
Go to Claire's.
Not used earrings. It wasn't earrings. It was a fucking necklace. My bad. But still.
My boyfriend took me down to the basement to try to seduce me, and he gave me his mom's necklace. That's really gonna turn me on.
Oh, I love it. But you still ain't getting it. Like, at least she stood up for herself. Oh, that was also a really random ass kill. Like, just freaking, I don't even know what kind of machine that was. We just took to his face. I was like, oh shit, okay. Kind of had me a little gagged. I was like, okay, that was fucking random. Yeah, her death was pretty cool. Being all electrocuted in a little necklace, like showing the shortage. I was like,
aside from the pros and cons, I did write just a bunch of random thoughts that I had while I was watching the movie. And I think they're a little funny, so we're probably going to read you some of our random thoughts that we had.
Please read my favorite.
Which one? The first one? Oh, yeah. That's literally the first one on my list. It just says, so there's the scene where Lori is in the bathroom with Melissa, and Melissa, gives her makeup bag or whatever. And Lori comes out. She's got on winged eyeliner all of a sudden, and man, is she just a completely different person.
She is a bad bitch now because she got
full
her
confidence. Like, she is strutting her stuff. And my note here says, she put on eyeliner and suddenly she's a new person? Question mark?
When Hannah read that to me, I was like, that's so real, because when I don't have my eyeliner on, I feel so goofy, and I put it on and I'm just like, I'm fucking upset.
And that's exactly what happened, because then we immediately segue into her dance battle with Tiffany.
Yeah, and she's like dancing all elegantly, looking all pretty. And then there's Tiffany. And then I don't even know what the man's name was. What was their boyfriend? Tyler. Tiffany's boyfriend's name was Tyler. Tyler's all checking her out.
And he's like, oh, she looks good.
And then he looks at Tiffany. He's like, oh, didn't you tell me not to embarrass you?
You're being very embarrassing right now.
That was so mean too. She's all after the dance move. She's all, "You weren't on cue. I told you not to
Right.
embarrass me." Like, girl, he didn't even do anything. What did he do?
She was
He
so
just
mean
stood
to him the
there.
whole time.
She was. I don't know why she expected him not to leave her.
Right. That brings me
Like,
directly to the next thought that I had, which was had a shitty dance battle and suddenly everyone likes Lori.
yeah, that was like they gave no.
Like everybody's been dogging
That
on
was just
Lori this whole movie. Suddenly she does some really shitty dance moves in a cringy dance battle with Tiffany, and everybody's cheering for Lori, and everybody wants to vote for Lori for prom queen because she danced around a little bit.
yeah, like not to mention everybody was literally shitting on her. Like, how can a Granger be prom queen after her mom tried to be prom queen and the whole killing her dad and shit? Like, everybody literally hated
And now
Lori.
suddenly,
Everybody was making
right,
fun of her, and then she does some fucking dance and puts on some eyeliner,
a
and
brand new
she's like,
person.
everyone's like, Lori, we love you.
Lori, we're your
All
biggest
right,
fan.
I suppose. Pretty much, yeah. I was like, it's like, okay. Well, I mean, Lori's mom, I feel like, did we even get like a clear
I don't think
backstory on
so.
that?
Like, I feel like that's another thing about the movie that was super underdeveloped. Like, you're making one of your main plot devices the fact that Lori's hated by everyone because they think her mom killed her dad. I
Some
don't,
psycho
whatever.
killer, yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Very underdeveloped story, so I couldn't tell you much about it. But
Yeah, and then they wanted to throw in like when Tiffany was all
yeah, at the
telling her,
end,
like,
then
"Oh,
that was one
yeah,
of the worst. See, that made it even worse for me. Like, damn girl, you really went on a killing spree because your high school boyfriend chose another bitch over you?
yeah." That I was like, hey, you're married with a
And
kid, like a full on fucking teenage girl, and you're worried about some ex from high school
and
who's
so
dead. Like, girl,
and
you
that's
what? And why is her husband
right.
helping her do all this? Like,
This is
you
your
just
motive
whipped.
for killing a bunch of your daughter's friends and then killing
I
like
know.
it was the dumbest motive ever. One of
It
my
was. It was. It's just
Oh,
like,
they
okay.
also had to throw in the cliche best friend fight that almost every movie ever has between Megan and
Yeah,
Lori.
that pissed me off. That pissed me off because that was such an unnecessary scene that they
They
didn't
were
need to
trying
have.
to give Jackie
Like,
Shauna. And it didn't work.
oh god, now you got me thinking about Yellow Jackets.
She was like, you can't let me have one night. Like, you're jealous of me, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You just can't stand to see me. Like,
Like, what did she even say? Like, she
trying to
literally
help
was
her.
just like, "Girl, I think some shit's going down. You should watch your back." And she's like, "Ah, "You're so
It was
jealous
so
of me."
ridiculous.
Like, where did you get that
So
from?
ridiculous.
Haven't we been best friends for years?
It
The
was
fuck?
the lamest thing ever. Oh, the real
It was.
star of the show or the movie, in my opinion, personally,
Oh
the person that stood out the most to me, which is so sad because it was a background character, the school reporter, that diva.
she's so cute. I
When
love
she took the
her.
microphone from the news reporter at the end and was like, "Don't worry, girl, I'll tell you all about it," I was like, "Yes, this diva right here."
I got the scoop. Let me spill the
She was the
tea.
best
Don't worry.
character, plain and simple. And
She
she
was.
had like less than a minute of screen time. So if that tells you
Literally like
anything
30 seconds.
about the quality of this movie, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. The two best characters, in my opinion, were ones that had less than 3 minutes of
Honestly.
screen time.
Also, another random thought that I had while watching the movie, I know that like school dances tend to have chaperones and whatnot, but
Yeah,
at the
they do.
same time,
Not
like all I could think was, why is Tiffany's mom at prom and so heavily involved? Like, she was just around all night, constantly sitting at the
She was
table,
just there.
like, what? Go away. Like, this, go home.
Go home. Why are
Just
you
sitting
there?
around. Why are you here?
Like that was another thing that was such a dead giveaway of
Right.
to who the killer was because
Where's
it's
the
like
Where's the rest of the parents?
she could have not been in
Exactly.
the
Where's the rest of the
picture.
parents?
Yeah, exactly. There's no other parents. And then Lori's mom was also like one of the biggest parts, right, of this movie, and yet
2
you see her
seconds.
for like fucking 2 seconds.
You barely learn anything
And
about
she's
her.
just being like rude as hell
Yeah.
to her daughter. It's like, oh, okay. You know, you're the biggest plot of this movie, but we see you for 2
And
seconds.
find out
It's fine.
the bare minimum about you.
Yeah, like you're a security guard now, and that's all we know. Like, okay. I guess.
What else did I put down here? I said,
No.
which obviously I think I answered my own question, but at the same time, I don't know. I wrote, where did her eyeliner go? Because because after they realize, like after Lori realizes that there is actually a killer and they come out and everything, she's not wearing eyeliner anymore. There's no eyeliner. There's no glittery inner corner. She probably cried it off. I get it. She probably smudged off, cried it off, but there was like no sign. There was no sign of there ever being some crazy winged liner on that girl's eyes. It just disappeared.
Oh, and she had hella eyeliner too and
And
glitter.
it was just gone.
I didn't even notice
It was
that,
just
dude.
gone. Like, I get it. Maybe she cried it off. She wiped it and smudged it because she was, scared.
Yeah, but there would have been like black residue everywhere. We know how eyeliner
It was
is.
just, I don't know. It
That's
just, it
crazy.
just went away.
I didn't even notice that. The also the ending part where like Lori goes and stays the night at
Right.
Tiffany's house and stuff. Like, what, girl? Why the fuck
Right.
would you
Like,
do
I
that?
get, okay, I'll ride back with her and, make sure she gets in her house safe, whatever, and that she's good. But
Yeah.
if you think for a second that I'm
To
about to
stay
spend the night with this bitch after the torment that she has put me through,
Yeah.
you have lost your mind. Like, the human
Yeah.
decency in me would be like, okay, girl, I'll get you home, but fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right, I know you're home safe, but peace out, because
Yeah.
you're a bitch. You don't deserve me to watch
And
over
then
you.
here comes mom.
That stupid walking up the stairs all slow.
Why did she move like a robot? Literally,
right?
all of her,
I know.
all of her movements were so robotic and stiff, and I don't know if that was like an intentional decision from the directors. I don't know if they intended for it to be like that.
That actress is good, so I think it was maybe intentional. Maybe they told
But
her
it was
to.
so ridiculous. She looked like a robot moving around just with her arm up in the air, just
holding the knife.
Just the way she was moving, it was pissing me off. I can't lie. I was getting angry.
And then, like, I mean, I get you're stuck in a house. There's not very many options for you to go. But why the hell did both her and Tiffany just go in the closet and just not expect the mom to find them? Like, girl, this is their house.
And then Tiffany is going to pull the knife out and be like, surprise. I'm actually...
Oh, yeah, I saw that coming from a mile
surprise,
away.
I'm actually a killer too, and I'm going to kill you, so...
Yeah. Like, girl...
Give it a rest.
At that point, I don't want to say you deserve it, but... Your decision, your critical thinking is not there.
I will say that Tiffany's kill was pretty cool. When she fell over the edge of the stairs and got impaled, that was pretty good.
Brutal as fuck. I was like, damn, that's what you deserve, girl.
Yep. Sucks. And then she just hits the mom one good time over the head and she's done for, which
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, because, we haven't seen people be stabbed like 50 times and still somehow fucking make it, but one smack over the head and she's
like, help me, please, help me, help, dying. And then Lori just walks out the front door like, nothing happened, and she says, I'm Lori fucking Granger.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Full
I
cringe,
hated
full
that
body
fucking part.
cringe.
I was like,
Like what
why?
happens? What happened next? You just killed two people.
Right?
We're
Yeah.
and you're just walking out like
What are you supposed to do now? She's like, I'm that
exactly.
bitch. As if she shouldn't be traumatized as fuck,
I
for
know.
one, after everything that just happened to her that
I'm
night.
the Lori
That's cool.
Granger.
Props to
Don't
her.
fuck with me. It was just ridiculous. Overall, just not a good movie. In my opinion, obviously, if you liked the movie, congratulations. I'm happy for you. I love,
Sorry that we shat on
yeah,
it the
I
whole
love
time.
loving movies.
But
I enjoy plenty of terrible movies, so I'm not gonna
me too.
diss you for enjoying this movie. If you enjoyed it, that's great. I'm glad that you did. Me personally,
And if you did enjoy it, I would love to hear some thoughts as
yeah,
to why. Just, so maybe that our opinions can be a little bit changed because I'm always open ears for why you liked it and if I
I'm
didn't,
always open to
I'm
a
not
new
going to judge you.
perspective on a film that I don't like, unless it's Hereditary. We'll discuss that later. We're not even going to get into that right now. Um, you know, we'll do a whole episode on Hereditary. If you follow us on Twitter, you know that I am the
That's going to be
self-proclaimed
a
number one Hereditary hater. And Hannah used to also be a
well,
self-proclaimed number
see.
one Hereditary hater until recently. So we'll not even
You
give a
know
lot
what?
away. Just we'll do an episode on that in the future. If you guys want to hear it, I'll rewatch the movie for the first time ever, and maybe my opinion will change. Maybe.
I don't want to say it. I'm not
We're
going to
not
say
here to
anything.
talk about
But yeah,
Hereditary right now. We're just gonna say that.
that was a funny day though because I was so scared. I tweeted on Twitter that I liked it after watching it the night before. And I immediately texted Twin and I was like, please don't hate me for my post.
She's like, let me tell her before I post this on the internet for everyone else to see so that she doesn't beat my
Yep.
ass.
I got disowned that day. She said she was looking for a new twin. I was like,
Go find a new Hannah
okay.
twin. It's fine. I do need to rewatch that movie though. I can say that I have only seen Hereditary one time. And, maybe I was in a bad mood that day when I watched it and that influenced my opinion of the movie, but I just didn't enjoy it. So we'll do an episode down the line on that, and maybe I won't be the number one Hereditary hater anymore. Maybe I'll be Hereditary's number one fan. I don't have high hopes for that, but the
I mean, hey, I can think of a few mutuals who would love that, but I'm not expecting it
I'm
at
not
all.
either.
So
I'm really not. Um,
it's all right.
but yeah, this movie just Prom Queen. You disappointed us
Yeah, a little bit.
a lot of it.
I'm sorry. I tried, but it was like a lot of it. Oh, also, Melissa, I haven't seen Honora yet, but she's in Honora,
I
and I was
still need
like,
to see that
that's so
too.
cool.
So
Me too. I was like, okay, noted. And she's in Until Dawn, which I'm not going to talk about because that
I,
movie, people hate that movie, and
yeah,
I'm
I
not
have
trying to get beef
still haven't
for
watched that
that.
one yet.
I liked it, sue me.
I
But
never played the game, so I feel
anyways,
like
I
I'll
don't want to get
probably.
hate for that. See, me too. That's why I'm like, I don't know shit about the lore. I just like the gore. I'm a gore whore. I like gore. If a movie's got gore, I'm going to be like, all right, cool. Unless it's Prom Queen and you just completely fail on absolutely fucking everything. The gore
No.
can't really save you.
Especially when there's like a limited amount of it. It's not like
Yeah,
it's not like they were
there
just
was
going
like
crazy the whole time with the
maybe
gore.
no, there was probably like a good three, maybe four scenes that have gore, and we're just trying to be
We're
nice.
trying to find something positive to mention here. I just can't really think of much.
Oh yeah, question. Who the fuck sent Lori the flowers? Remember that random scene when she gets delivered flowers and she's like, who are these from? And he's all, how the fuck should I know? And then it says like, fuck, I forget what the paper says, but
I
I'd
have
never,
somehow completely forgotten about that scene altogether.
It was really random. That's why, like, there was nothing that like made sense about that scene even being in the movie.
Don't recall.
So I had put note of that because I was like, who sent the flowers? Why was this scene even a part of it? Like, it was just really fucking random. Like, there was so many randomly put scenes throughout that they like took from, I feel like they probably took from the book, but didn't properly put it through the storyline. Like,
just
there was
random
so many
insert.
Random bits that made no fucking sense.
Yeah. I hate when movies
that
do
being
that.
one of them.
Like,
me too.
There's just like a random scene that we never really touch on later, and it doesn't do anything for the plot. It's just a random, I don't know. Because I don't even remember what you're talking about, so clearly it wasn't very important.
Yeah, see, it wasn't, but it was just, they stopped Lori all of a sudden as she's doing her thing, and they pull her to the side and are like, you got a delivery, and then give her flowers from an anonymous person. And it's like, why was that scene necessary? Because they never even told us.
I
who
would
gave
imagine it was like Tiffany or
But
her mom or
anyway.
somebody just being an asshole.
Probably, but like,
But it doesn't really make sense for the plot. I don't have a clue. I just watched the movie 2 times painfully. The second time, the first time wasn't as bad. Because it was a first watch, and I was like, okay, this is kind of campy. Like, it's not terrible. And then I had to sit through a rewatch, and I was like, yeah, I think I was a little generous with my rating.
I feel like when you first watch a movie, sometimes you don't really like sit there and like
You don't
think about everything
you don't really
going
pick it
on
apart
until you rewatch. Yeah, you rewatch it and you dissect it, and you're like, all right, maybe this was not as good as I was thinking it was before. Or maybe I was too hard on it and it's better than I was before.
Yeah,
that happens too. That happens to me a lot, to be honest. But not this time.
No, it got worse this time.
Not this time.
Only by a little. We didn't rank it very high at the beginning.
Yeah, it's not like it's like half a star. I got a few movies rated half a star. Rip to them, because
I don't know if I have any
ass.
half-star ratings on Letterboxd. Maybe I don't know if I ever rated Rubber on.
The fuck is wrong? Is that the one about the tire?
The killer tire.
Oh, that movie's so funny. Oh man, there's one that I watched called Killer Sofa, and I wanted to like it so bad because I was like, all right, if they're gonna make it like a comedy, it'll be fucking great. But it was so serious, and it was just like, man, y'all totally missed the mark. You should have made it funny, and that would have been awesome.
I love a movie that's intentionally bad.
Yeah, those are my favorite because you just watch them and you just laugh your ass off. You're like, this is horrible, but
You're like,
kind
it's
of
horrible,
good.
but it's supposed to be, so I can just sit here and like, haha. But I don't think that was the case with Prom Queen. I think it was
No. I definitely think that they tried pretty hard with this movie.
It just didn't hit the mark at all.
Luna! Sorry, we'll edit that out. But, alright. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what else to say about Prom Queen. Did our best to
we tried not to be too harsh on it. I feel like maybe we succeeded. I feel like we could have been meaner. I feel like there's definitely people that I've seen say far worse things about it than we did, so we're just not really good at being mean.
Yeah, to be honest, it's hard for me to shit on a movie. Even if I don't really like it, I can't really sit there and shit on it for that long because I'd rather just laugh about it and be like, well, that was kind of silly. Then be like, well, that was fucking awful. You know?
Yep. So that was our thoughts on Fear Street Prom Queen. I've said a lot in this episode.
I probably have said
I need to learn some new words. I need to learn
Our vocabulary
Expand our vocabulary
is like
some because this is ridiculous.
yeah, well, we already told y'all we are
No,
not professionals. We don't got a script.
we're
We're
not.
just
We're not
winging
content
it.
creators.
That movie review was like so random too because it wasn't even in order of the way that the movie went. But you know what? It's all right.
Yeah, but this was supposed to be our short episode. I think we're at the 50-minute mark, so we're gonna have to cut.
This was
I think
supposed to
so.
be
Yeah, we're
short.
gonna do it as a short episode, which we did. I think there was a good bit that we had to cut out anyways. Like this, we're gonna cut this out. Except whenever we upload, we'll cut this little bit of us just yapping.
Okay.
But yeah, let me get serious again, so we can segue to our exit. Yeah, so that was our thoughts on Fear Street Prom Queen. Not the best thoughts, but it happens. You know, movies aren't always going to be great. So
Sometimes you just gotta watch them, make your own decision on it, and we made ours. That was ours. So I hope
yep,
y'all enjoyed listening to the most random
yep.
yapping ever.
That was episode 2. You can join us next week for our first full length episode where what are we discussing? We put a poll on our Twitter page for Silent Hill or From Beyond, and Silent Hill was the winner of the poll. I can't lie to you guys though, we both really want to do From Beyond as our first
Yeah, we
episode.
did.
Neither one of us have ever seen it, and one of our dear friends, their favorite film ever is From Beyond, and
I know. I feel like it would be so special to review
yeah,
it for
I
them.
think we might just we'll still do Silent Hill, probably not as our first full length episode. Maybe the next one.
But we
Yeah,
definitely need to do
yeah.
From
So I
Beyond.
think that next week y'all
100%.
are going to be getting From Beyond. Me and Hannah are going to watch it together and review it, and you'll get to hear our thoughts.
I'm
I
excited
am
for
too.
that one.
I
Oh
love
my
the
goodness.
80s.
That one
80
is
the
great.
actual 80s, not shitty.
Yeah, not whatever Prom Queen was trying to do. Like the legit 80s
You
is
know
the
what?
best genre.
See, From Beyond is the perfect next movie for us to do, anyways, because we did a
We need
we did a modern
redemption.
movie set in the 80s. Now we'll do an actual movie that took place in the 80s.
Smart. You're the smart twinny.
So yeah, tune in next week on whatever site you're listening on, and we'll talk about From Beyond 1986.
Excited. I can't wait. I hope you guys enjoyed this very unhinged and chaotic episode. This is probably how they're all
Yeah,
going to be.
we'll get
So
better at this along the way.
we will get better.
We'll learn.
But
We'll probably get a little more organized, but for now you're getting raw, unhinged, me and Hannah just yapping about movies that we watch, going off on tangents about movies that have nothing to do with the episode.
oops.
But this is my favorite
That's
kind of
all right.
content anyways to listen to. People just being real and raw and themselves.
Themselves.
Yeah. I don't
Silly. I agree. It's better than listening to
have a
people
full
that are
script
like
and
super
yeah.
professional and scripted and I mean no hate on them
Yeah.
either,
Like
but that ain't me. That ain't
yeah.
us.
Don't expect that from us here. At least not for now.
Yeah, maybe when like in the future if we get big and we like are closer together and we can actually film together, it'll be better. But for now, this is what y'all get.
For now, this is what you're getting because we're on opposite ends of the country. So, shame.
Lame. It is a damn shame. The universe didn't put
We
it
have
together.
our very basic setups. We don't know what we're doing. We're going to go edit this episode and hope to get it up for you tomorrow. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned in for the next episode next week.